Good afternoon. Welcome, guys. My name is Sean in Alaska. For those of you who just happened by this live stream on chance or a whim, it's awesome to see you. Basically, I just chat with you guys. You got questions for me, feel free to ask them. If you've got questions for anybody else in the group on the chat here on the side, by all means, ask it, and people will answer you whether you want an answer or not, probably. That's how it generally works. I go for about an hour, so we'll be done at, well, we started at 3 p.m. Alaska time. We'll be done at about 4 p.m. Alaska time. And the floor is completely open. I like to stay away from, the stuff you wouldn't talk about at your family's table. No politics, no religion. Just keep it fun, friendly, family-oriented, and that's pretty much it. What else? I put a couple of links in. I'm going to explain those to you in a minute. One of them is pinned to the top, but I'm going to show you both of them again in a second. And if you have any questions and I miss your question or I miss saying hello to you, do me a favor and say hello again, and I will catch you, because sometimes the screen gets moving a bit fast on the side there for me to be able to catch everybody. And don't hesitate to ask your question a second or a third time if I haven't answered it. If I have answered it, I'll just skip over it again. That's it. Let me jump back to the top real quick. I hope everything is good audio-wise. Don't see anybody down there saying, Sean, you're talking and there's no mic, so good. Let's get back up to the top then and say hello to everybody that's joined me so far. And if before anybody says anything, yes, you see, it's officially spring in Alaska, or almost spring in Alaska, because the haircut happened, and it might be spring big time in Alaska in the next couple of days because this is starting to get itchy. Foggy Mountain Man looked like he was the first one that jumped in and said hello. Glad you could be here. Awesome to have you here. Here is the first link I was talking about. Way before I ever did anything off-grid, and I was living down in the city in California before I moved to Alaska. I am a huge fan of Irish and Celtic music, and music from the Celtic nations in general. And I had an online Celtic radio station that broadcasted music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that I taught myself how to set up, and it was super cool. And there's a story back behind that as well. Maybe we'll get into that someday. But I still occasionally put podcasts together, and if you followed the channel for a while, you know that I put a bunch of them out at Christmas time because I love Christmas music as well. But with St. Patrick's Day coming up, I have 2 links that are in the show notes here on the side, or on the notes on the side, and I will make sure that I post them on the Facebook page as well. The first one here is to the more traditional side of Irish music. So if you click that link, it costs you nothing to join, it costs you nothing to listen to it, it costs you nothing to download it and keep it for free forever and ever and ever. You can listen on your computer, or you can download the app and do it that way as well. I don't make anything off of it, but if you need music for your St. Patrick's Day celebration, that's the first link for it. And we'll say hello to JD because he jumped into the room. Hopefully Foggy Mountain Man's back. He had to go change a propane bottle, it looks like. Oh, and here was the second link. If you like your Irish music with a little bit more teeth in it, we're talking Flogging Molly, some hard rock stuff, kind of more on the punkier edge of Irish music, which there's never a bad time for either. This will be the link for that. And again, just check out the Facebook page. It's the link to the Facebook page is down in the show notes of every one of my videos, and including this one tomorrow. And by all means, help yourself to these podcasts. There is a bunch more music on there. You just won't find any Christmas music on there because I pull that off in January every year. But you could go there and listen to and download whatever you want for free. Most of them have me talking as a DJ. Listen, you're listening to Funny River Radio. And that's where the link will take you because that's what my podcast page was called. But yeah, they're free to listen to, free to download, free to have forever and ever. Enjoy yourself with them. Scrolling back down here, everybody's saying hi to each other. That is awesome. Arthur, glad you could make it, my friend. Awesome to have you here. Scrolling through Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. Scotty is an admin, so Scotty kind of is like the police here on the channel. If anybody's doing anything real shady, Scotty will just delete the comment so that we can keep it family friendly and fun. He can also post links. So if you've got a YouTube page or YouTube channel and I kind of shout you out, more than likely Scotty or one of the other moderators, I haven't seen who else is here yet, will share that page as well. And I encourage everybody to at least do me a favor and check out those pages. And if you like them, it might be somebody you want to subscribe to going forward in the future. Scotty posted a picture of a gorgeous ribeye steak on the gas Weber that he did today on Facebook, and oh, yummy, yummy. I'm doing a New York again tonight, but that ribeye was scrumptious looking, Scotty. Charles and Annalyn, awesome to see you guys from the Philippines. Charles, saw your pictures, very, very cool on the house updates and the construction process that you're going through over there. David Evans is here. Scrolling down through, Scotty, I'm not late. We can talk about the infamous theft of 1 hour of our lives that happened again today, and why it makes absolutely no sense in Alaska if you'd like to. Oh, I hate daylight savings time. Joe Montano, awesome to have you here, my friend. I hope Kaylin makes it. That would be awesome as well. Leslie Lindsay, good to see you. Carol L, glad you could make it, Carol. Karen, I hope you got that. You did get that link that I sent you for the Kenai Eagle Nest live cam. You won't see any birds in there until they actually start nesting, and it's way too early for that right now. But as the temperatures come up, that cam is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's pretty cool to watch as the nesting pair lay their eggs and hatch their chicks. It's pretty cool. You'll enjoy that. Rosie Side Farm and Homestead, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before. It's glad to have you here. It's awesome to have you here. Glad you could make it. Deborah Starling, bragging about 68-degree weather. We'll have no more of that, Deborah, please. Jim at Woolly Rhino Adventures, still in barbecue coma for visiting 3 barbecue joints in a little over 24 hours. Jim at Woolly Rhino and Bill at Lone Moose, Alaska, were sending me pictures of all their food. They went to Texas, and they're from down there right now. Both of them are moving up here, but they went to Texas and hit some barbecue joints. So I'm looking forward to seeing the video on that, because Bill said he was making fun of me while they were there. But yeah, thanks for rubbing it in, guys. Eastern Shores of Maryland, very cool. Nice. We're definitely totally across country here. Well, international, because Charles and Annalyn are in the Philippines. So yeah, very cool. I like that. Patrick just popped in to say hello. Keep up the good work on my life. Thank you, brother. Much happy to have you here. Take a sip of this here. Yeah, Terry, you were gone for a couple of weeks. Glad to have you back, man. Hope you had fun. I hope it was a good reason for being gone and that you were out enjoying things and enjoying life. Alaska's Last Frontier Cabin. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it as well. Oh, you found me by accident. I love when people find us by accident. That's awesome. And as JD alluded to, it's spring cleaning time, so that's kind of what I did. I didn't really do much around the property at all this week, or this weekend, but I tackled the other side here. I started pulling blankets down off of the windows. You'll find out more about that in next week's video, but right now it's 29 degrees Fahrenheit, which is just below 0 Celsius, which may seem extremely cold to you if you're not used to this weather, but to me it's beautiful weather. And I was out running around in the kilt today. Definitely, it's gorgeous. I love it. Everything's melting quickly, very quickly, and I bought another tool today, or I bought an addition for a tool for the project coming up this spring. I'm getting fired up. I'm getting excited. Very excited. So, who've been waiting for an hour? Joe Montano says I'm 5x5. David Evans says the audio is good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that very, very much. Gil from Camp Patton Family Compound. Glad you can make it, my friend. Awesome to have you here. Frank Short, am I sending all that bad weather down there? Yes, I actually am sending all of our cold weather from Alaska to you guys in the lower 48 so that we warm up faster, right? It's only fair, because honestly, all you need is 2 or 3 days of warm weather and everything's perfect again. We need about 2 or 3 weeks before most of the snow's gone. So yeah, you're getting it all from me. You're welcome. Good. Glad to see that the video is doing well. Thank you very much for that, Karen. Much appreciated. It's cold here in Northwest Florida. Cold in Florida. Are you 65 degrees? People are wearing parkas? Russell from Romabout, how are you, my friend? Audio, video are good. Very cool. I'm kind of going to scroll through as many of these as I can, and if I haven't said hello to you, I'll jump in there. If I see a question, I'll answer it too, but I want to get going down here. Awesome. Glad to have you, my friend. Glad to have you here. I am well. I'm glad to see you. I hope you are well, and I'm looking forward to seeing you when you get up here. Kaylin made it. Awesome. Very cool. Oh, good. Looking forward to listening to the tunes. Awesome. Awesome. Roken Matama, awesome to have you here. Thank you for joining me today. My daughter, Ashley, glad you can make it, babe. Love you. Kiss the baby for me. If Rosalie's watching, Rosalie, I love you. Grandpa loves you. Oh, awesome. Michigan Daffodil, glad you could be here. Awesome to have you here. And then Rose says hi. Yep, Rose, I'm your grandpa, and I live in Alaska, and I know you don't see enough of me, but we're going to fix that eventually. Trust me. Thank you very much. This does help. If you have not done so, please consider hitting the thumbs up. If you don't like what you're seeing, hit the thumbs down and hang out anyway, because I'd love to have you just visit for a while. But it gets the suggestion out. YouTube says, wow, these people like that. Let's suggest it to other people. So it helps build the channel, and I appreciate that if you do. Now that's cold. North Dakota, that's cold. Wow. Sparky's Run. Glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here from the South Mountains of Oregon. Very cool. Oh, yeah, do that for me, guys. Scotty, if you could, I want you to look up Twilight Life Cabin. That's David's channel, and he just started it, and he could use all the support that we could give him. So if you could find it, do me a favor, and definitely share the link for Twilight Life Cabin. Oregon Woman, hello. Glad you could make it. Awesome to have you here. Melinda Elliott, glad you could pop in. Good to see you. And my oldest daughter, Brianne. Hello, Brianne. I love you. Glad you could make it. Kiss the boys for me. Dash, Dalton, good to see you. It's your grandpa. I'm in Alaska. Thank you very much, David. I appreciate that. Get it out of there, please. Like, subscribe, and comment. Fat Man Prepper, close to being on time. Glad to have you here, my friend. Anytime you get here is a good time. Stay for as long as you can. If you got other things to do, trust me, I understand that. Like I said, we only do an hour. I follow some other channels that go live, and they may go live for, well, one of them will go live for 3 hours, sometimes more. But I like to keep the 1 hour time slot because I know you guys have other things you want to do on a Sunday. Maybe you're done with supper and you're sitting around with your family watching, or maybe you've got your family coming over and you're going to have dinner with them. So we tear up an hour, and I appreciate every minute that you guys want to hang out with me. Everybody saying hi to everybody. I love that. That's awesome. I missed Marcus. Glad you can make it, my friend. Awesome to have you here. If you see me glancing over there, it's because I'm looking at the name on the screen, because I'm just totally green at this. Scotty, winter won't go away there. It never fails. So Scotty's in Wisconsin, and when I start posting the pictures of winter hitting here, Scotty is laughing at me. Ha, 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 ha. And about this time of the year, Scotty's talking about 10 below, 20 below, massive blizzards coming through and everything else. And I'm showing pictures of us getting warm going, ha, 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 ha. Charles and Annalyn added a couple of tools this week too: a cordless reciprocating saw and a welder. Very cool. Awesome. Jerry, Canadian, good to have you here, my friend. Broken, Montana. How long is my drive to work in the winter with the bad roads? So I work basically from front door of my place right now to front door of work is 16 miles. So during the summer, that drives about 25 minutes. During the winter, it can be upwards of 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how much snow we're dealing with. And I live in a pretty serious forest, so if we have some big windstorms, there could be trees across the road as well that you have to pay attention for, and always keeping your eyes open for the moose. They're not as big of a deal in the summer, because when I'm going to work at 4 o'clock, well, 3:30 in the morning, you can see them super easy. It's the winter hours are a little tougher. You got to really pay attention to what you're doing, because the moose can jump out from everywhere. So that's the answer to your question. 25 minutes in the summertime, basically, and probably 45 minutes on average in the winter. Yeah, see, Frank, if it gets below 75, you're putting on long johns. Florida people. Beautiful place, though, right? Gorgeous weather most of the year. Holy smokes. See, that's neat. But seeing bald eagles in my area more often now. Used to never see them so fun. It's a beautiful bird. I never get tired of seeing bald eagles. I never tire of seeing them. I saw the two locals on the way home from town today. Sundays, for those who don't know, are the day that I go into town and do my laundry, because I have the only power I have right here is either my solar panel that runs all of my LED lighting inside the cabin right now, and then I have a generator that I use. I fire up for lives and when I'm editing video. So that's the only power I have. I don't have water. I haul water. And then I cook on propane, and my refrigerator behind me is propane as well. So I go to town every Sunday and do laundry, and did that today. And on the way back, the eagles were sitting in the trees. Just so cool. Sunshine, glad you can make it, Leah. Awesome to see you. Late as usual. Brr, brr, Foggy Mountain. No, I don't want that back again. We're not going to go below zero again the rest of this year. We're done. Well, the rest of this winter. I won't say this year, but the rest of this winter, we're done with the below zero stuff, I think. Jeanette, awesome. Glad you can make it. Saw a post, figured chip. Thank you for joining, and awesome to have you here today. Karen's asking, how are my daughters and grandbabies doing? Well, both the daughters are in here, and my grandbabies are incredible. My daughters are incredible. I am a lucky, lucky man, a lucky individual to have the children and grandchildren that I do. My oldest daughter, her and her boyfriend just picked up new kitchen cabinets. They're gonna redo their entire kitchen, and they got a screaming sweet deal on the cabinets, the appliances, and everything. So I was pretty fired up when I saw that today. Very, very cool. Yeah, very proud dad. Always proud of both my daughters. You made your FF. You're gonna have to explain that to me, Caitlin. Reached out to the remote this morning. Asked about good wood for a chicken coop. Going to get some egg layers. Very cool. Yeah, my chickens are doing awesome. I'm actually probably going to pick up. I'm looking at maybe another dozen birds, and mainly because my chickens are laying eggs, and I have more people that want eggs than my chickens can lay, even this time of year, and they're paying for their food right now. I mean, their next 2 or 3 bags of chicken feed are already sitting in an envelope ready to go. They're not going to cost me anything. So I thought I'd go ahead and increase the size of the flock. I know that in the winter, it's going to cost me more in feed, but I hope to be set up a little bit better with them as well in the winter so they can still maybe do a little bit of scrounging, but once the ground freezes, it's done. But chickens are awesome. If anybody out there has ever thought about getting them, definitely look into doing it if you can do it where you're at, because they're just a ton of fun to have. They're characters, and there's nothing like walking out and getting fresh eggs in the morning for breakfast. I love it. Hubert Hubbard, welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here. Awesome that you could join us this afternoon. There goes Gil, sharing all kinds of links. Thank you, Gil. Much appreciated. Maybe first prime rib. It turned out okay. Thanks for the info. Very good. I like it, Kaylin. Nice. Ward, you're an evil man, Ward, for sending me a picture today of corned beef and cabbage. That is not fair. I haven't had any yet this year. Hubert Hubbard says it's 22 degrees in Kentucky. I didn't realize there were 41 people watching. That's awesome. Yeah, if you hit the thumbs up, that helps too. But thank you, 41 people, for joining me today. Very cool. You don't do your laundry in Funny River? I actually do. During fishing season, I just wear my clothes into the river, wash them up that way, catch a couple of salmon, come home and have dinner. That's the way we do it in Alaska. No, that river's frozen, almost frozen solid right now. So I go into town and use the laundromat because I like my clothes to be nice and soft when they're done, you know. And I eventually will have the clothesline and everything hanging out here because I do like the way clothes smell and the way they feel after they dry in a clothesline. But this time of year, it's kind of difficult to do that, and you know that when you're asking that question. I did. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell them about that one, Ward. So we talked about this, I think, a couple of weeks ago on a live, but our local dump landfill has so many bald eagles. It's just ridiculous. And I keep trying to get the time, and I've got the camera charged up and everything. So I think tomorrow, after I get off of work, I'm going to try and swing by there. I went to the road just past the dumps, just outside of the dump area where a lot of the birds nest, and got some video for that coming up in an upcoming video. But yeah, it's ridiculous how many bald eagles are at the dumps. When everyone said hi to me, I'm sorry, I'm playing a mom and in the middle of dungeon. Oh, okay. Oh, that's not right, Brienne. You're making a corned beef right now, too. That's it. I got to buy corned beef tomorrow when I'm at work. That's crazy. I love corned beef and cabbage. And then I love making fresh corned beef hash out of that the next day. Oh, that's so good. Corned beef sandwiches, yum. We always talk about food, too, when I'm live. The The libation for the day is spiced cider because it was chilly outside today, so I thought I'd have one. I didn't want to do coffee again. Foggy Mountain Man had venison stroganoff for supper, sitting here feeling fat as a take on a happy dog in the middle of summer. That's a good description of it right there. Deborah Starling, country, line draw my laundry, smells so good, right? It does. The only thing I can think of for a dryer is there's really nothing quite like the feeling of warm socks right out of the dryer when you slip them on your feet. It's pretty awesome. But I could get that same feeling with a wood stove. So we'll have that covered next winter, hopefully. Knock on wood. How much does it cost for a load of laundry in Alaska right now? Just curious. So on a regular, not the top loaders. I don't use the top loaders. I use the front loaders, right? Which are the 1.5 load. And I only know that because I read the sign today while I was there. I was bored. It's $3.50 for one load in the wash, and it generally only costs me $1.25 to dry that same load. So what? $3, $4, $50, $4.75. So about $5 for one load of laundry. But today I was washing the blankets that were hanging on the windows in here, and I washed all my bedding upstairs as well. So I had to use the big machines for that, and they cost $6.50, and another $2 to dry everything on top of that. So about $8.50 for that. So today it was like $40 to do all the laundry. Generally, it cost me around $10 a week, maybe $12 a week to do laundry. So yeah, it's not that expensive. It's cheaper than it would be for me to have a washer and a dryer right here. And I like the whole idea of it doesn't matter how many loads I'm doing. It takes only as much time as one load of laundry to do my entire laundry for the week. So it only ties up a couple of hours of my day as opposed to either constantly running it every couple of days or having to deal with, one load after the next load after the next load if you only do your laundry once a week. So it's so much easier for me that way. Right? Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's pretty darn inexpensive, pretty darn cheap. And our laundromat is just super clean. Although with everything that was going on over the last couple of years, they've had some equipment issues, and a lot of those parts aren't made here in the States. So they have quite a few broken machines right now. I'm usually in there early though. So for my average day starts at about 2:30 in the morning. I get up at 2:30 in the morning because I start work at 4 o'clock. I like to get up a little early, have coffee, take a look at the YouTube channel, see how everything's going, answer any comments I may have or questions I may have. So I'm never in a hurry. So on my day off, generally speaking, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning, just because my body clock is already regulated at that. By the same token, on the other end of that, I'm usually on a work night, like tonight, I'm usually in bed at about 7 o'clock at night. So, man, for me to stay up past 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, it's almost impossible. It's tough. Here. No, it's not, Jerry. No, it's not. Which is why I wear the kilt, because then you don't have to. Well, we won't talk about that. Christy Betts, awesome to have you here. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Scotty and I both came from Tuolumne County in California, so just north of Yosemite National Park, in the Sierra Nevada foothills. Beautiful. If you look at a map of California and you look at San Francisco and you draw a line straight across the map level, it will pretty much intersect with Tuolumne County. David's asking, what are my plans for the trailer after I build a cabin? I haven't really firmed up any plans 100% yet. I have this fifth wheel trailer, and I also have a motorhome that's parked over at a friend's house undercover. The motorhome is what I lived in for the first 4 years that I was up here, parked on the back part of Brother Will's property, where I was plugged in and had electric and all that fun stuff. And then when I moved on to this property, or just before I moved on to this property, I bought this trailer off of Facebook. I'll more than likely put the trailer on Facebook for sale because I don't need it. And while it would be nice to have a guest house for somebody to stay in if they showed up, this is not really designed for. If you're not really staying on top of issues with the roof and issues with the plumbing and issues inside and keeping it heated up during the winter and it'll fall apart in no time at all. So yeah, I'll probably get rid of it. It's like anything else, though. It's what you get used to, right? I mean, I was a baker slash donut maker for most of my adult life, and I worked from 7 o'clock in the evening until 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning every day. So I worked nights for most of my life. This is a beautiful shift. How many pilings have I got to put in for the 20 by 24? So I'm going to go 3 wide. So just imagine the 3 rows where the main beams are going to sit on the pilings, on the sonotubes. And since it's 24 feet long, I'm going to go 3 wide on the 20, and I'm going to go, let's see. So there's piling number 1, and then 6 is number 2, 12 is number 3, 18 is number 4, so 5 long. So I'm going to keep those ones 6 feet apart on the long. So 6 by 3, 18 pilings. That's the rough estimate at this point. And I'm probably going to go with either 10-inch or 12-inch. I don't know that I would actually need 12-inch. So I'll probably stick with the 10-inch sonotube. And then, I'm going to pour the concrete myself, but I'm not going to bring a truck out. Ward is in here. He's got an electric mixer that he said he's more than happy to bring over as long as he's not using it on the day that I actually start pouring. And then I'll probably get a couple of 55-gallon plastic drums from town. I'll buy some and head on down to the river and just get the river water right out of the Kenai River and use that for mixing the concrete. Just keeping those hours too. It's funny how you get in weird cycles like that, right? My kids will stay up forever. They've always been night owls, and I've never been I've never been one who stayed up late. Well, look at those two. Jeremy and Ashley from Mapleberry Farm Off Grid. Great, fun people to watch. Awesome, awesome channel. And characters when they go live. Characters when they go live. Glad you guys could make it. Awesome to see you. I hope you're having a great year. I have to catch up on your videos. I kind of got in a busy mode right there and didn't get a whole lot of watching done. And I'm probably 3 or 4 behind. And I hate that because I love watching your stuff, man. I love watching your guys' videos. I'm probably going to butcher your name. Madhu Nanda. I don't know if I got that right, but hello. And if that's LA, hello in Los Angeles. And if not, it's Louisiana. Hello in Louisiana. Awesome to have you here. Looking fantastic as always. Thank you guys very much. We got to get Jeremy in a kilt though, right? We got to get Jeremy wearing a kilt. That would be fun. Bacon Grease asks, am I worried about frost heave? Not really. My frost depth here in this area on the Kenai Peninsula is 54 inches. So I'm going to auger down until I either hit that 54 inches or I hit good gravel. Because once you hit the good gravel, you're safe, pretty much safe from the frost heaves, or I should be. So I'm not concerned about the frost heaves. And the brackets that the main beams are going to be sitting on will be adjustable. So, within a certain amount of space, I should have some play there if I do get any issues with frost heaves. But I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. We'll know more here as soon as I can start drilling holes. Frank, glad you can make it, man. Awesome to have you here. Hope to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. Yep, Scotty, you're another one. You're out the door at 3:30 in the morning as well, right? Oh, I got it. Very cool. I like it when I can pronounce a name I've never seen before. Very nice. Fire Pit, welcome, my friend. That lead heater have in the background. How long will a 20-pound tank last on the Buddy heater? So it depends on the time of the year and the cold outside, only because right now I have it on its lowest possible setting, and it'll last about 3.5 days. That's if I'm running it continuously. It'll actually run me about 5 days right now because generally I'll turn it off in the afternoons. Once we hit 40 degrees Fahrenheit outside, I can turn that thing off for hours at a time. The inside of the trailer will stay warm enough for a while. During the coldest months when I have that thing turned all the way up, maybe a day and a half to 2 days for a bottle. But that's a small one. I have a larger one that I will pull out of storage and use at that time of the year in the trailer because this little one just can't keep up. And then that becomes the feed heater. I throw it down here on the floor just to keep my feet from freezing because it gets cold on the floor in the winter. It gets bad cold. Yeah, you guys do. I mean, but look at what you're doing. I mean, you guys are building. The last thumbnail I just saw, you guys, I guess, got your roofing material in, and you guys are busy. I mean, you guys are doing a ton of work out there, and then keeping up with the amount of snow you've had this year. Holy smokes, that's crazy. The amazing Jolie Pettit, hey Sean, we're late, but got the kids with me. Awesome. Declan, Lorelai, and Piper. Glad you guys could make it. Lorelai, I am super excited for what you're doing. Shaving the head for kids. That is super cool. I think that is very, very neat. And your mom and your brother and your sister should be super proud of you for doing that. Very cool. Los Angeles, okay. Southern California, SoCal. Yeah. They did have a beach. That's true. Mapleberry Farms was Mapleberry Lake there for a while. And then Jeremy chickened out and wouldn't go swimming in it. That was crazy seeing how much water they had. Kathy from North Star Pep Shredder, glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here. You're never late. Whenever you get here, Kathy is just fine with me. I'm just glad you show up, and I greatly appreciate it. Kathy's got a great channel as well. Kathy goes live on Mondays, and she's in the basically the series, the talking points and education of growing stuff. Just watched her live. I think, Kathy, I don't know if it was last Monday or the Monday before, with onions. And pretty much made me feel comfortable about what onions I need to get this year for the property up here to grow in the first ever garden on the property. So yeah, I'm looking very, very forward to that. Kathy has great lives, and Kathy, share your channel out, please, so folks can find you. I really appreciate that, man. I love creating the videos, and it's awesome when somebody says they like watching the videos. I just, to me, it's a ton of fun. It started out so the girls, my daughters and my grandkids could see what I was doing up here, and it's blossomed into so much more, and it's so much more fun to do. Every time I get a comment, I get a big old grin on my face. Generally happy anyway, but that just makes my day. And comments like that, awesome, awesome. Pathways Homestead from Kansas, awesome to have you here. Thank you for making it in. I appreciate that. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Sunshine. Get good quality concrete or deck disintegrated because the guy who built it used. Yeah, I'm not going to use cheap stuff. I'm going to go right all the way through this. I was in Price and Lumber again today, and actually, like I said, I bought a table for the chop saw that I got. And it's crazy because I've gone into Home Depot like 5 times trying to find the table, and everybody said, "Yeah, we have it," but nobody could show me where it was at. And so today I was in there picking up some charcoal because I'm going to grill up a steak after the live, obviously. And then I was looking on my phone, saying, well, it should tell me on the phone for this store what aisle and bay it's in. And I couldn't find all of a sudden one popped up, and normally the price for this table runs $229. One popped up on my phone and said it was like $147. And I wasn't going to buy one today, but for that much of a discount, I said, I'm buying it today. Turns out that one you had to order. It was an online only deal. But I did get it ordered, and it'll be here next week. And I finally actually know where they stock those tables now for the miter saws. So yeah, pretty fired up about that. That was the tool I bought today. But yeah, I'm not going to go cheap at all. I'm going to make sure it's done right. It's hopefully the last house I ever build, and it's going to be mine for a very long time. And it's going to be my kids when I'm done, right? If I like them. I don't know. Do I like you guys? Scotty, will I get a 1,000-gallon tank when the cabin's done? My eventual goal is to actually have a well, but that's down the road. I want to pay cash for that. I figure it's going to cost me about 10 grand. So I'm going to wait until a haul water until that point. It's pretty easy for me because I live by myself. But I'm looking at maybe putting in a 250-gallon water storage tank inside, kind of similar to what Cabin Dweller has in her place. I don't know how big her tank is. Because I can actually haul and pick up water in town in bulk and bring it out and fill that up just for showers and that kind of stuff, so that I don't have to keep going over to Brother Will's house to use the shower. Fairfraz, Northern Ontario, Canada. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here. What kind of solar system am I planning on installing in the cabin? There's one system, and shoot, I had the paperwork and I don't know where it went now. I've got it, I think, in one of my folders. Probably 6.5 kilowatt system for my place, which is, I'm trying to think of how many panels that is. I think it was 6 panels. No, it was 4 like 320 watt panels, 4 6-volt batteries, charge inverter and everything included. It was, and it was 4.5 kilowatts. So charge controller, inverter, and everything connected, all of it included. And I can set up the remote start for my generator, so it will fire up the generator on demand if it's not getting enough sunlight. That's kind of the idea that I'm looking at right now. I've realized after living in the trailer on the property without electricity at all for the last 2 winters, I don't use that much electricity. So I don't really need as much power as I originally had thought. And then the appliances and stuff like that I'm looking at will be, I'm really looking at the Unique brand because Jeremy and Ashley from Mapleberry Farms have that, and they kind of did a review on it and showed me what their stuff was. And I've seen a review on that on a couple of other off-grid channels, and I really, really like those appliances. So I'm probably going to go with those. They're either propane or very low voltage, low watt consuming electrical, and I won't need that big of a system, I don't believe. We had our trailer lined with old moving blankets to keep the skin on the bottom of our feet, right? the first winter that I was up here in the motorhome, which has even worse insulation than this, I swear to God that if you were to accidentally spill water onto your floor, before you could get a towel down to it, before you could step on it, it was frozen solid. So the floors of the trailer are probably the biggest challenge to keep warm. In this one, what I did was I just bought a bunch of extra carpet. But even with all the extra carpet laying on here during winter, if I throw a temperature gauge down on the floor, we're looking at 0 degrees Fahrenheit multiple times during the winter. So then you're wearing extra socks. But I didn't plan on staying in this that long. And unlike you guys, I didn't have to worry about, Jeremy, I know you didn't want Ashley to worry about that. You sure as heck didn't want Sam to run around in that cold on the floor either. So I don't have that to worry about. So I've kind of dealt with it in the cheapest method I possibly could. How much will I need to expand my solar power system with the new house? Oh, quite a bit. What I have right now is just 110 or 120 watt panel. And it's just to keep the battery warmed up right now. It doesn't supply that much power at all. It was kind of a great deal. I think I got it for 150 bucks. So it was a great deal when I picked it up, and it was my first foray into solar, so I could start to understand it a bit. But it will be, I'll probably give that away to somebody when I'm done. It probably won't have anything. I know it won't have anything to do with the system on the house when it's finished. And Fisa, awesome to see you. Glad you could make it. You liking the weather? We're getting warmer. We're getting warmer. It does. Yeah. Feet, for me, feet and hands. Man, if my feet get cold and my hands get cold, I'm just worthless. I'm miserable and I don't want to do anything. I go absolutely crazy. Up here in the winter, you can't spend enough money on good boots. Good boots are, if you're going to be outside a lot, good boots are what it's all about. I toyed around with a couple of different brands, and then finally I bought myself a set of Baffins, and they're rated at 90 below zero. I don't know if they actually would work it, but I know at 35 and 40 below zero, my feet were toasty warm. So you can't spend too much money on good boots, not in the winter. Foggy Mountain Man. Sean, my wife said, don't lose the beard. She says that's the new 6-pack on men. I don't know, man. It gets so itchy here on the neck, and it gets so miserable when it gets warm. A Bigfoot, sometimes called an elephant, footing in the bottom of a tube. You're right, exactly. It will, but it's not necessary. If you get down to gravel, you don't have to worry about that. If I wasn't so cheap, and I was doing this with a little bit more cash on my end, I would use the heliconial piers. And if you're not familiar with those are, it's another reason to jump over and check out Mapleberry Farms. Their first cabin and this cabin, I believe that's what they use. The ones they're like giant drills. Like imagine if you've ever seen an ice auger or an auger of any kind, and they basically just twist those things into the ground until they hit a certain tension, And at that point, they know that the frost won't make any difference as far as heaving those pilings up at all. And they're metal, and I could literally have everything lined up, leveled out, and ready to go in one afternoon, and be building the cabin the next day. So I guess you save a lot of time and a lot of effort having it done that way. But I really wanted to build one by hand, and it's a lot cheaper doing it the way I'm doing it, I think. For the first time anyway. We'll see. Cool. All right, Kathy, I was right. Last Monday was onions. And interesting. Her lives are always very, very interesting because she's always got people in there that, especially if you're into gardening, they've always got people in there that have so much experience that if she doesn't have an answer to a question, one of the people in her live chat does. Super cool to join her. Oh, always, Kathy. You know how I am. If I don't like somebody's channel, I won't shout them out. I just don't believe that because it's not sincere for me, and I don't want to steer anybody in a direction that I wouldn't want to go myself. So if I'm yelling about how great these channels are that are in here, and I'm lucky because all the folks that have channels that are in here and are commenting are all awesome folks that I do watch, have watched, and do watch continuously. I'm just super lucky when it comes to that. Cozy Corner Cabin, awesome to see you. Glad you can make it. It's going good. It's going better now that you're here, right? How far is my work from the cabin? 16 miles. Yeah, 16 miles from my cabin to the town of Soldotna. I actually don't live in Soldotna. I actually live in Funny River, Alaska. So. Big Bear Prepper, glad you can make it. Awesome to see you. We don't have Canadian Tire here, right? If we had Canadian Tire here, I could probably buy everything I needed for my cabin in one building. We don't even have Tim Hortons here, and we should because we're Alaska. I mean, we're closer to Canada than we are the United States. Kathy says, just watch Wild Wonderful Off-Grid this afternoon, and they had a terrible experience with a bad concrete company. I'm going to have to watch that because they are just awesome, awesome people. Josh and Aaron are super cool. Every time I've ever posted a comment or sent them a message, they have responded, and they are a huge channel that, they're like Ashley and Jeremy. They have children. They've got projects going on left and right, and they never fail to get back in touch with people. And to me, that's incredible. But I'll watch that because I'm way behind on their videos. Yep, that's my feelings as well. You get what you pay for. You go cheap, you get cheap. And this is, like I said, it's not a temporary thing. It's something that I plan on having forever and ever. Oh, you're gonna be done with that lumber this week? Okay, cool. Let me know when, man, and I'll swing by and pick it up. And let me know what he wants for it. I don't know how much he wants for it, but I could definitely use it. Martha says, as of today, I think I've watched all your videos and some several times, like the Turn Lake and Fall. So one of the things that I've found being a creator on YouTube, somebody who makes videos on YouTube, is the videos that I really, really love, nobody likes. I get done with like this one that he's talking about, Fall at Turn Lake, right? And I was still relatively new. I was learning how to use a camera, but I thought I got some of the most beautiful pictures, some of the most beautiful video I've ever gotten. And I put that video together, and I was so excited about how it looked. And I thought, man, somebody's going to watch this. It's going to blow up. And that video has never done what I expected it to do. But Arthur, you and probably 10 or 15 other people that I know have watched that video multiple times, especially in the middle of summer. They'll put that video on and always leave a comment, and that makes me smile. That makes me feel good. Alaska is very easy to get a well. We only need to go down 80 feet. Wow, that's nice. I don't know how far I have to go down here, but another channel, Alone in Remote Alaska, she was telling me she had a video about looking at real estate up here and buying land in Alaska. And she had a link to a site on there that I didn't know the state had, where you could look all around the area that you're at, and they'll tell you the average depths for all the wells in that area. So I need to get on there and look, but it's not a priority at this point. Not a priority for me yet. Gray Man Prepping. Awesome. Glad to see you. Oh, did she fill her water tank today? Yeah, she's right. I guess her water supply is like literally right across the street from where she lives. So that's cool. That's super easy. Eves, glad you can make it, my friend. Awesome to see you from St. Colomban, Quebec. You know, I have to find out, but I think there's a place. I know that a couple of the gas stations will let you use the water at their place for nothing, for free. And I'll get a list together of some places. I'll find out for you guys and let you know. But I can go down and use the water at the community center here in Funny River, I believe. I've been told more than once that I'm more than welcome to go down and use that. But I don't want to fill small containers. I want to fill big containers. So I'll find a solution for you guys too. Once I find the solution, I'll let you guys know. Got a 4,500 watt backup generator on the deck and have never put gas in it yet. Well, that's a good thing to have, man, right? Good on you. But you've got it when you need it. That's all that matters. Gil's live streams are Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And he always does neat stuff on his, too. I like his live streams. He's got a lot more production on his live streams than I do. Unique make good stuff and great customer service. Ashley stabbed our fridge at the back and they send a new part free of charge. See, that's a company. That's an awesome company that does that. That is super, super cool. Mike and Angie at Me and You Acres. Awesome to see you guys. Hey, I just got to tell you that guess what I took down today? Blankets. That's right. I washed them. Oh, and that's where I was going to go with this. So the blankets hanging on the windows, every spring I have to take them down and they have to go to the laundromat and be thoroughly washed, because everything that I cook in here all winter long, all that stuff gets into the blankets, gets into the it's terrible. So my cabin smells completely, or the trailer smells completely fresh right now. But glad you guys can make it. They're building a place on their own right now too. They're living in a trailer in the pole barn that they have completed as they continue to build their house in Canada. So another great channel to check out. Super nice people, and they have an appreciation, a deep appreciation for blankets. And that's an inside joke with them. And Fisa says, Sean, we're going to start a teeny cabin here in a couple of weeks. Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, prices are not cheap, right? But I don't think they're going down. And I'm not doing another winter in the trailer. I am definitely going to make sure that I have a cabin to live in before the end of this year is done. You guys either. Yeah, I didn't even see that comment when I made my statement. Whiskey Harbor, awesome, my friend. Glad you can make it. Good to see you. Yeah, right? Baffins are used by slope workers, and that's all you need to know. If they work on the north slope of Alaska, they will work anywhere where you can have winter temperatures with wind chill of 90 degrees below zero. It gets brutal cold up there. Keys are what I wear. Generally speaking, the little hiker boots that I wear all the time, those are Keens, and they're very comfortable. Very comfortable. Get that right. Sorrel mucklucks keep my feet nice and toasty. Sorrel's a good brand too. Sorrel's a very good brand. I wear mucks as well, which you'll see me transitioning to here in the next couple of weeks. They're rubber, but they're my go-to summer or breakup boot. The four seasons of Alaska are breakup, green up, brown up, and freeze up. And basically they're kind of self-explanatory, right? So freeze up is when everything freezes. Break up is when all the ice starts to break up and you have water and ice everywhere. Green up is when all the trees and everything start to grow and everything starts to turn green again. And brown up is fall, when all the leaves start to fall off the trees and everything starts to die again. So that's what we call our seasons. You're more than welcome, man. You are more than welcome. I agree. It really is, right? The homesteading community that I have pretty much found since I started doing this whole YouTube thing, and even though I'm not really a homesteader, and the do-it-yourself building community, just awesome people. No, that's not a bad drive at all. It's and I laugh because coming from where I come from in California, and living in the lower 48, and people who live in California will understand, or anybody who lives in a major city will understand that traffic is brutal. But I used to start work at 4 in the morning in California, my last job before I moved up here as a Teamster. And I would have to drive 2 hours to get to work. And there was no traffic. It was a 2 hour drive from where I lived to Stockton, California, the depot that I was stationed out of. And it, when people up here tell me, well, I don't want to drive there, that's like 30 miles. I'm thinking to myself, 30 miles? At 30 miles is not a commute at all. So yeah, it's not a bad deal at all. Yeah, we don't have Tractor Supply either. I bet you we get one in Anchorage in the next couple of years. I bet you Anchorage and the Valley get a Tractor Supply in the next couple of years. As a Canadian, you will take me. Awesome. I must be behind here. I got to get caught up, man, because we're almost towards the end, and I like to say hello to everybody. Uh, uh, oh, if you're talking about the video fall at Turn Lake, it's still there. I've never taken a video down. Every video I've ever created is there on purpose, so that I can go back and I can say, man, that was terrible. Why would anybody watch that? And then I can watch my new one and go, man, I've come a long way just in that part of the whole thing. But yeah, I never take them down. I've never reshared them though. So you guys paid $2,000 for your last well, 60 feet down, tons of water. Sure, I mean that's awesome, right? If it was $2,000, I'd probably have one put in now. But it's a lot more expensive here. It's crazy what they charge here for that kind of stuff. Talking about the piers that you guys used, and I think they're the same ones that I was looking at, the Heliconio piers. It would cost me about $15,000 to have those put in here, which is cheaper than having a contractor come out and do an actual foundation. But pretty sure I can do sonotubes for $1,000 less. So Jolie agrees with keeping the whiskers. Well, maybe we'll do like a poll on my community tab. Should Sean shave or not? He just wants to know, am I going to take what's in my RV to equip my cabin, like the fridge, gas heater, plumbing, etc.? The gas heaters are separate. I don't use the gas heater that's in here anymore because the squirrel cage, the bearings kind of went out on it, and I didn't want to fix it. But probably just the loose heaters will probably be all I'm going to take out of here. That'll be it. Because if I do want to sell this to somebody else, they'll need everything else that's in here. And even if I want to give it away to somebody else, I want to give them something they could use. So I probably won't take anything out of this. Originally, I thought about doing that, but I really want a full-size stove and a full-size refrigerator because I like to cook. David, Bush Radical has a great video on driving a shallow well. That dude is awesome. I agree 100%. It's a Sandpoint well, and I actually emailed him or left a comment in that video about that. He builds in Alaska as well, but he builds up towards Fairbanks, and he goes, yeah, no luck, dude. You're not getting a Sandpoint well in Alaska. It's not going to happen. But I saw that video. It was very cool. Yep. And you guys could just put a tarp out because it rains there every day, right, Charles? Will I have a washer and dryer in the cabin? I will have a washer. Eventually, I'll have a washer in the cabin, but I'll never have a dryer. It will either be air dried or I'll just use during the winter. I'll have dryer racks set up by the wood stove. I'm going to go as old school as I can. I want it to be as simple as possible. Tom Teal, hi from California. Thanks, Tom. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you could stop by. Remy, I saw you were there too. Glad you could make it. Awesome to see you. Breakup season's the absolute worst. It is the nastiest, messiest season in Alaska. Well, we also have the little-known construction season that happens, tourist season and construction season, which happen as well. Breakup's the ugliest, and construction and tourist are the ones that cause the most traffic. Yeah, mud season is breakup. We just call it breakup. We don't call it mud season. Kathy, I finally figured out your modus operandi in the chat. You get far enough behind that subjects continually repeat themselves with new info and it can keep going. My evil plan has been figured out. Normally, I'm a lot more caught up than this, but you guys have got a lot of questions today. I think it will too, but I'm really happy with where it's going right now. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I'm very excited to start building the cabin. because so many people that watch the videos are so excited that I'm building the cabin as well, and I want to share that with everybody. It's a ton of fun for me when I get the comments back from people. Building your tiny cabin, 18 by 24 with a loft this summer. Going to stay in the camper this season while I build. Yep. Oh, Alaska's last frontier homestead. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, JD, thank you very much. If you get out of here before I get a chance to say goodbye to you, good to see you, brother. Glad you could be in tonight. Hope Rhonda's doing well. I'm going to fly through here. Yeah, I did drive a long ways in a van. Maybe Dave's videos. This man right here posted a video on his channel of the path that he had to shovel down his driveway to get to where he's building his place. That is the longest path I've ever seen a human shovel in my life. You're crazy, Dave. You're crazy. 50 feet. See, there's the difference. A 50-foot well in Willow, Alaska for about $6,000. Ouch. Kaylin, thank you very much. You have a great week as well. Yeah, see the screw piles. Screw piles, heliconial piers is what we call them here, but that's exactly what we're talking about. I'm going to scroll down here and get as fast as I'm almost to the bottom anyway, so we're in good shape. Almost caught up, right? Wow. We call 2 weeks. Here we call it 2 weeks mud season. Nice. Folks, that's about it. We're just about wrapped up. As always, I want to thank you guys for the continued support and for joining me on these lives. I'm just amazed at how many of you guys jump in here and spend an hour with me. Super, super cool, super exciting, and I'm very appreciative. New video coming out every week as usual. I'm going to stick with the Fridays as my release date for a while now. And we discussed why on that one. It seems to be generating more traffic for the channel and for the videos themselves. But I'll be doing 2 a week here coming up in the next couple of months. So I think that the Friday and maybe a Tuesday release, a shorter one on Tuesday or Wednesday, probably Tuesday, will fit together nicely. That's it, guys. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you again soon. I'm Sean in Alaska. And look, it's just about time to go. See you guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.